Terence Crawford, he's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter.
Fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that I step in the ring with.
Good fighter, like Alvarez Terence is. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us.
Of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, there's I always say, I respect a small fighter like Charlo. He's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face.
The much-anticipated clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is inching closer to reality. As the undisputed super middleweight champion, Canelo has added fuel to the buzz, while Crawford hasn't held back, firing shots at the Mexican superstar in response. After months of negotiations, this fight is shaping up to be one of the most electrifying matchups in recent boxing history. Crawford, a 4-division world champion, is eyeing the 168-pound division, a massive leap against one of boxing's pound-for-pound elites. The rivalry is intensifying, with Crawford already engaging in a war of words with Canelo. It's a historic meeting of two undisputed champions. In an interview posted by journalist Die Boxing Man, Canelo questioned Crawford's credentials. "I respect Terence, he's talented. But he's only won one big fight. Besides Errol Spence, who else has he beaten?" Crawford quickly clapped back on social media, sending a clear warning. Crawford responded sharply, "Only one good opponent out of all I've fought? Noted. Just remember, I've made many top guys look like nobodies." With that, the verbal battle escalated. The build-up is as fiery outside the ring as it's expected to be inside. In a separate interview, Canelo acknowledged he's open to fighting Crawford but noted the challenge might not earn him much credit. "No disrespect, Crawford's great. But he's even smaller than Charlo, and people already had issues with that fight." Canelo added, "I've fought everyone across weights. If the money's right, why not?"
Fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that.
Undisputed champion.
Well, I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer, he's a puncher, and he is totally ambidextrous. So he drives his opponent crazy because the opponent trains to fight a right-handed fighter and ends up fighting a southpaw. And that's what happened to what's his name?
Errol?
Errol.
Yeah. Errol Spence.
There's loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
We shall see, who knows?
Canelo echoed earlier thoughts. "Crawford's a great fighter, but at my weight, it's an easy fight. Easy money." He admitted he avoids fighters with too much movement but noticed Crawford has slowed recently. The fight would be at 168, meaning Crawford would jump 2 divisions. Still, he remains undeterred. Both are expected to take one more bout before facing each other. Canelo has now locked in the T-Mobile Arena for September 13th. Meanwhile, former Crawford promoter Bob Arum said Crawford's switch-hitting style could give Canelo trouble, despite the size gap. "I'd never count Crawford out, he's ambidextrous and a superb boxer-puncher." Arum elaborated on Crawford's unorthodox style. "He drives opponents crazy. They prepare for an orthodox fighter, and suddenly, they're facing a southpaw. That's what threw off Spence." Arum likens this to the Pacquiao-La Hoya matchup. While Canelo was initially dismissive, his recent London meeting with Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh shows a shift. Canelo has already defended his title twice in 2024, while Crawford became a 4-weight champion with his win over Isra Madrimov. Canelo is expected to fight again in May, possibly against IBF champ William Skull. A win would re-establish him as the undisputed 168-pound king. Crawford, fresh off his victory over Madrimov at 154, is now in the spotlight for a possible super fight with Canelo. Speculation about this fight began right after Crawford's win over Madrimov last August. Not long after, Canelo defended his unified titles again, continuing his dominance at 168.
And you absolutely deserve it. As I said, you're a pound-for-pound king. If it isn't Canelo next year, are you done from the sport, Terence?
I wouldn't say that. Right now, I'm just weighing out my options and looking for the best opportunities and options for Terence Crawford in my career.
Absolutely. Last one on him, I promise. If that fight is made, how does it go with you and Canelo? How does it play out?
But that's why you watch it and see. You know, that's what everybody want to see us fight for, because everybody got answers that need to be answered. You know, and the only way they can be answered is.
I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford.
Versus Jamel Charlo playing out.
I think Canelo just outboxes. Well, no, doesn't outbox him, but I think just outpowers him and beats him to the punch. And you do give Canelo does have some sort of like decent speed as well.
As both prepare for the biggest bout of their careers, Crawford, now 37, issued a bold statement: "I'm going to shock the world, watch. The best is yet to come." Despite his confidence, the challenge is enormous. Crawford must leap 2 weight classes to face a Canelo who's defeated top-tier names like Golovkin, Plant, and Charlo. Still, the hype only grows. Amir Khan, who fought both men, weighed in. Canelo is a beast. I've faced both, and weight makes a big difference. Crawford is brilliant, but when you're getting hit by someone like Canelo, Khan, who lost to Alvarez via 6th-round KO, acknowledge that the size gap is a real danger. Khan supports Crawford but admits it's a risky fight. He's done everything in his career. He doesn't need this, but if it's a big payday, I get it. Just hope no one gets hurt. Canelo recently commented on the rumors, simply saying, "I'm open to talk." That alone sent fans into a frenzy, especially as Shakur Stevenson predicted Crawford would win possibly with ease.
As a Canelo and obviously your good friend, mentor, Terence Crawford, a lot of people a few years ago would have said that's crazy, but I think everybody, when they see the talent of Terence, he's a special fighter, pound for pound. I think many will say #1 in the world, alongside the likes of people like yourself and that great list that we've got at the minute. Is he the man to beat Canelo?
Yes, honestly, if anybody could jump up in weight classes and do it, it's Terence Crawford. I don't know nobody who is mentally as strong as Terence.
Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March, yeah. Other, we don't talk that much for make a deal and anything, but you know, we now know each other and we'll see what happens.
Crawford has committed to gaining 14 pounds for what could be the biggest payday of his career. Stevenson reiterated, "I've always said Crawford beats Canelo. His style's a nightmare matchup for Canelo." Crawford usually relies on movement, jabs, and footwork, avoiding prolonged exchanges. His aggressive performance against Spence was an exception, largely due to Spence's post-accident condition. Chris Mannix warned, jumping above 160 is a serious risk, especially without a tune-up. If Crawford takes a tune-up, it might be at a catch weight against a low-risk middleweight like Aaron McKenna or Liam Smith. The super fight has seemed inevitable since Crawford's 2023 KO of Spence. However, Canelo initially dismissed the idea, opting instead to dominate fighters like Munguia and Berlanga. After beating Madrimov last August, Crawford picked up the WBA and WBO belts at 154. Since then, talk of a fight with Canelo reignited, especially after both were seen meeting with Saudi boxing power broker Turki Alilshik. Alilshik has orchestrated major fights recently and has openly backed Canelo versus Crawford. He's willing to fund the event, and with both fighters now interested, the dream fight is finally in motion. Crawford's latest vow, "I'm going to shock the world."
Meaning that the chances of a fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have, quote, great
Alvarez?
Oh, well, it ain't really no message, you know. It's all respect over here, you know, and if, you know, he do decide.
Though Crawford faces a steep climb up 2 divisions, he's not one to be underestimated. Boxing journalist Julius Giulianis confirmed that September is a serious target for the bout. Sources told The Ring that serious work is being done behind the scenes. Some speculate the fight could happen as early as May, though September is more realistic. Both fighters were in London for talks with Alvarez, who now owns The Ring. Alvarez hosted the Ring Magazine Awards in London, meeting both fighters to discuss 2025's biggest fights. Upon hearing this, Crawford flew to London himself, saying, "I'm a free genie, you call, I show up."
Come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight.
How important is it that you've spoke with Turkey Al-Sheikh?
Say again, please.
How important for you is it that you've spoke to Turkey Al-Sheikh, and what did you speak about?
Look, I like to work with everybody. You know, I'm a free agent and I like to work with everybody. And you know, I like to have
all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
Canelo is eyeing a May return to defend his titles. Meanwhile, Crawford, fresh off his win over Madrimov in August, is calling this bout a legacy fight. Despite Alvarez temporarily shelving the idea due to Canelo's hesitation, it's back on the table. Instead of Crawford, Canelo fought Berlanga last September. Now, neither man has fought since then, though that could change quickly. Canelo's London trip hinted that he's ready to be active again and possibly entertain fresh rivalries. Speaking to The Ring, Canelo left the door open. "There's always a possibility. We'll see. We're here to make the best business." However, promoter Eddie Hearn remains skeptical. His Excellency wants it, but I don't think Canelo truly does. According to Hearn, Canelo fears he'll get no credit even if he wins. People will just say, "You beat a 154-pounder." And that's all for now. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive updates, interviews, and breakdowns from the boxing world. Turn on notifications so you never miss out. Until next time, peace out.